All right, today I'm going to show you the second part of our pop-up prong unit. So if you remember yesterday, we talked about some different types of prongs, and I showed you how to start your planning process. Remember, you have this paper that walks you through all of the steps. Today we're going to go from having it drawn on paper to actually cutting them out, and then I will talk briefly about popping them up. If you remember, here's my sketch. I figured out how many prongs I wanted, the size that they're going to need to be for the object, and I figured out the shape that I'm going to need, so I'm all set to go. Now, after my sketch, I figured out where the bottom was, or the center is, of where my prongs will be, and then I drilled that hole. So here's my piece that I'm working on. You can see there's a big hole in the center, that's where I drilled, and now so far I've been sawing these lines out to the edge, and I have one left to do, so we're going to do that one together right now. All right, so I'm going to get my saw back to that middle section, and now I can start to saw out. If you're struggling with curves or trying to keep your saw in the right position, please ask for assistance so that you don't kind of mess up and cut off one of your prongs, because we do need those. Now when I'm sawing, I'm actually cutting a little past the edge of where my object is. I'm doing this because when I bend up the metal, I need to be able to see what I'm doing. Okay, so I'm going a little further then. Now I'm going back to the start to do a second piece. All right, and now I have all of my prongs cut. If you notice, all of them are about the same width except for this long one here. I'm going to keep this one long for now just to show you the popping up part, but I can eventually go back and saw that piece down. So if I take this off and you look at the back of it, you can see I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 prongs. You can also see that each of my sawed lines goes just outside of the object like I was talking about. So now, for the next part, I'm going to grab the tool I need to pop those prongs up. So you can use a steel block, and you can use any other steel object that's pretty simple to pull up. It's also nice to have a pair of pliers around. Now typically, first I would take this paper off. I would actually cut these out too. And I would do any sanding on the sides I want to. But it's nice, just for the sake of this video, I'm going to pop one up just so you see what it looks like. All right, so I can take my piece right on the steel block, and I'm trying to do this without denting the metal. So I'm not pushing with the end of my center punch. Instead, I'm setting it alongside it, and then I'll slowly start to pull up. Now, this is something where if my metal was annealed, it would work a lot better. So you can see I just pushed that one piece up slightly. Now what's nice is if you take your pliers, you can grab it and pull it straight up. Okay, so if I had pliers here, I would just go and pull it straight up, just like it shows for this step, pulling it up. And then at that point, before you press it down on your object, that's where you start your filing and your sanding to clean up all of those little edges, which I'll show you how to do some of that cleanup stuff in our next video.